pole, but he's going for obviously that record. But here we go then, 5 red lights. Long hold here, but here we go, 5 red lights are out, and away we go then for the first race of the new season. Looks like a pretty decent start there from Dylan. He's going to just about hold Ranger off, I think, but then side by side into turn 1, and Ranger's got past him. Back. We've got a massive mess at the back. Oh god, there's a VSC out, there's guys with penalties, wing missing for quite a few. I think quite did either of you
just been brave checked by his teammate. And Duncan's now spun Bennett. Duncan has spun Bennett behind the VSC.
God, what is going on?
Yes, I did catch it. It was one of the McLarens, I believe it was Seb, who spun out of turn 1, and that just caused an absolute melee behind, getting flashback to, I think it was 2001 or 2002, that infamous crash where Ralph Schumacher went in the back of Barrichello, and there was just absolute chaos behind.
Riggsy's missing like that as well.
He got really checked by Duncan, Harry.
Yeah, Lewis in the racing point just got past him rather swiftly off the restart. Bunny's right at the back as well. I think Rando might have been the one to spin, although having said that, Sem's missing the M plate, so it might have been him, but I'm just looking, Rando's down 14th as well. Dylan then going slightly deep into turn 1 and losing out to Ranger as he had to go on the grass. Sem's actually looking... Oh, Clock's just got past Sem, and it's getting a bit messy now in this final sector as well, as Sem's now been hit by someone. I don't really quite know how Sem has somehow managed to...
Whoa, there's another crash. Brindy boys round on the straight, and there's a huge crash with Liam. He's out on the spot.
There's 2 guys out. Liam's out. I think someone else has got damaged. We've now got a safety car. God, it's an absolute farce, isn't it? I think we need a red flag and a race restart, but... Nevertheless, we've got about half the field in the pits or out. Ranger leads the way. Bunny's got a 5-second penalty, speeding into the pits. Ranger leads away from Dylan, then it's Czech, then it's McEwen. Duncan's 5th, but he has a penalty. Riggsy's in the pits, Hards to the end. They do just about go Hards to the end. If anyone's listening.
Intermediate tyres.
Okay, Riggsy's, Sem's gone hards, Bennett's gone hards, Wiggy's on inters, Rando's softs, Bunny's hards. So Riggsy's maybe going for the aggressive 2-stop. Could pay off for him. Medium softs will obviously work from now. I wonder if any of the guys in the top 10 are going to pit. Like I say, hards can go to the end from here. Could be worth it.
My only guess with Wiggy going into the intermediates is that he's going to come into the pits again this lap and go on to a set of hards to the end. But
yes, you might be right. But
yeah,
he could have gone on any of the set.
Yeah, he could. What a crazy start though. So many incidents.
What a mess.
Yeah. Out of the final corner, Brindy boy got a bit loose. I'm struggling to remember it. Even it all happened so fast. And then there was a chain reaction. One car, he pushed one car into another that went into the wall. And then Liam was trying to avoid it all and hit Brindy boy. Baranga's sped into the pits. He would not have wanted to do that. The Czech now leads this race.
Yeah, we got Czech from Lewis. Then it's Clock's 3rd, Tooman 4th, Preds 5th, but Preds and Tooman both started on the hards. Anyway, Clock started on the mediums.
These guys...
sorry. It is just a bit of a mess. Sorry, James. It's be interesting to see if Riggsy gets past anyone who's just coming out of the pits. He's going to be quite close again to his teammate, actually.
We won't want to be seeing him anytime soon.
Although just behind him, so both the Renaults now on the same strategy as well. They've both gone onto the mediums. Pretty much everyone else, apart from Morgan, is on the hards. Wiggy's back in the pits as well. So Rando is on the softs. He's the only driver that's pitted and gone back onto another set of softs.
I was just going to say, sorry, Harry, this could work out really well for Czech because he's still on the softs. He'll be able, him and Lewis actually will be able to pull away from the guys behind. The likes of Rango, Dylan, McEwen, Connor, etc. They'll get held up by Tooman and Preds, who are now on the same strategy as them, kind of. Although obviously they haven't pitted, the rest have, but they're all on hard tyres. those two obviously qualifying near the back will, you should think, hold them up a bit.
Rando's
Czech
got
could
be behind the safety car for corner
that's
cutting.
unfortunate. But yeah, Czech could be a good shout for the win here. Obviously it's early days, but he can just pull away now. Then he'll be quicker than the Morlings mediums at the end, because I should think softs to mediums will be the viable strategy now for him and Lewis, who are both still out on their softs that they qualify them.
Yeah, it's probably a good time actually while the safety car's out to just head over to Original and get his thoughts on the start. Bit of a mess there. Did you catch anything that we might have missed, or is there just anything of note perhaps just to say?
No, same experience. Well, major in Lehman, Britain. But other than that, I couldn't see much because I only could see what the main comms are saying. But it's a bit worse than Div 2, really.
Get that one in early, but yeah.
I think all was bad.
Well,
it's
Rando's back in for hards as well, so he's obviously decided the softs aren't going to be the way to go, and I'd perhaps be inclined to agree with him on that one. Just trying to kind of work out what's going on with the penalty situation. I know Randy's got a 5, Bunny's got a 5, Randy's got a 3. Yeah, so Czech, he's probably in a position now where he can perhaps dictate his own pace a bit more. And I think if I were him, like you say, James, I would be inclined to try and stretch those softs out and go onto the mediums. You want to be going till really lap 11, lap 12 to get onto the mediums and make that a viable strategy. But you never know; it could work out quite well for him. It's really going to be how good these hards are and how quickly the guys on the hards can get up to speed, and really Czech will come out behind some of them. It'll be how many of those he comes out behind and whether he can get past them quickly enough. I think the safety cars should be coming in. I don't know whether the message has appeared yet or not, but everyone now has caught back up as Lil Wiggy gets to the back of the train, and there we go, safety car in this lap. So I'll get to the front of the field. If you can perhaps watch the middle back, please, James, and we'll try and catch what is going on.
Get a clean lap of racing, hopefully, for the first time this season.
That'd be nice. So here we go then. Czech, he's leaving it late. JH has got a penalty for collision with Morgan, so I think so from bad to worse.
Morgan's at the back of him there, judging by that.
Here we go then. Lewis has actually made a bit of a better start than Czech, perhaps you want to say. Czech kind of left it late, and well, we didn't really catch anyone off guard by the looks of things. We got Connor off.
Yeah, he went in
mistake.
He went in deep into turn 1. Duncan slipped up the inside, and then Riggs got past as well. So both Renaults capitalising on the mistake there from the Williams driver. He's
working together.
Sem all over the back of him now as well. So constant pressure for Connor off the restart. That's not what he would have been wanting. Quite a few drivers in the pit with penalties, so if there is another safety car or they have to pit again for some reason, that's going to hamper them even further. We've now got Ranga trying to get
going for a move. He's having a look down the inside. Preds leaves in the room. We've got a yellow flag behind. That is a Red Bull. That's Lil Wiggy. Lil Wiggy's out.
He'll have dropped that on his own.
Turn 7. I think Ranga has now gone past Prez, and Prez has fallen back a bit because he's lost out to Dylan as well. Slots in just ahead of McEwen there, and now we've got a Renault. We've got a Renault going for a move on McEwen. It looked like, I think Duncan had a little look, but had to kind of back out, and now we've got Riggsy down the inside.
Just to bring us up, lads are saying in chat that Morgan's connection is shocking.
Well, we'll have a look at that.
Alright. Yeah.
Admins are ringing us up, so.
Yeah.
Alright, yes, thanks for letting us know, because obviously that is, we'll have to keep an eye on the field. Has already spread out massively as well. Look at the top two, there's a 2-second gap to clock, and then another 2.5-second gap to Tooman. So really perfect restart for Czech and Lewis. Riggsy had a look down the inside of Duncan, but didn't quite get it done. And now Duncan's back right on the back of McEwen, but McEwen's going for moving Predators. Predators kind of falling away down the field a little bit, as it looks as though, well, it's so difficult to overtake around here. They can't really get much done. And we've got Tooman then. He's kind of the sort of cork in the bottle, really. and he's got Ranga behind him. I think the thing that's really going to dictate this race is going to be how quickly the likes of Ranga, Dillon, McEwen can get past Tooman, who, as I said, is really kind of holding up perhaps these guys now, as Ranga's got a pretty good exit down onto the back straight. He's going to go round the outside of the Haas driver. He's got it done nicely there. Both drivers leaving plenty of room for one another, so good driving between the pair of them. And yeah, unfortunately we are going to see Morgan, I think, coming to the pits on the tyre, which is a real shame for him. But then we've got now Tooman then under pressure from Dillon, but I think the DRS is back up, is it? Or it's up
It will be
lap.
this lap. Yeah.
So really Dillon's got to make the move now if he can. Yeah, there we go. Unfortunately for Morgan then having to retire from this race. We don't want to see anyone doing that, but fortunately connection troubles plaguing yet another driver. So Tooman getting slightly out of shape there at turn 4, and Dillon now might have a bit of a run. Tooman getting out onto the Astra, onto the grass. Dillon thinks better of it though. Tooman really is holding up these guys massively here. And wow, Czech and Lewis probably running all the way to the bank with this one, because
yeah,
well, they've got a massive lead right now, and Dillon's going for it on Tooman. He's got the move done. Good move there from Dillon. He had to get it done there, really.
Oh, Renault's fighting Harry. Riggsy's going to look to go past Duncan on the...
yeah, he lets him go, he lets him go.
Yeah, he's done it. I was just going to say as well, this is working perfectly as I thought
Oh,
it might.
we got Tooman
That's
off,
a
we
huge
got
crash
Tooman
again.
off. Oh, massive crash! Massive
Both
crash!
crashes, ground, Rigsy's
Tooman
gone.
has gone. Rigsy hit Tooman. Tooman spun off of the curb.
Another safety
at
car.
the Brindy Basher. Rigsy had to try and avoid him, and in doing so, unfortunately, T-boned him. McEwen got caught up in it as well. Rigsy, McEwen probably both going to have to pit. Top 3 are in the pits. Oh, that was so unfortunate. So unfortunate. Because Rigsy was actually in a pretty decent position there to go for a move or two.
He was
and
just
ended
an
up
innocent,
just... Well, yeah, he couldn't do
innocent
anything
bystander.
to avoid Tooman, who was coming back across the track.
Same as
So
McEwen,
Rigsy's
really.
gonna
McEwen tried to avoid him and spun. What is good
It'll
for
be
Rigsy,
hard
though,
for
is-
Rigsy.
Yeah, the safety car means he can now go into hards to the end. His mediums wouldn't have made it to the end, so he's definitely still in play in this race, despite being caught up in 2 collisions now. This is his second wing change in 8 laps. But yeah, with that safety car, he's not out of it at all. He's still got to be a good shout for points, but Ranga once again now leads this race, although with that 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. It's Dillon second, Duncan in third. He's been in the wars of this race. He's on medium, so he won't make it to the end. There's no chance of that.
Probably not. No.
Connor's in fourth, but almost certainly a net third place, which would be a great result for him. Ranga's
Oh,
got another
Ranga,
penalty.
no.
I think Dillon's to the back of him there. So it's going to be penalties
That'll be
galore.
one
These
for the stewards to look at, I
the Div 1
think.
stewards are going to be having an absolute field day with all of these clips that are going to be sent in. Predators is 5th, he's still not pitted. Sem 6th, on debut he has pitted. Sem could be an outside shot or a podium here at this rate, but
Yeah, James. Interestingly
saying
enough,
that.
here, mate, we've got Czech, who pitted. He could have perhaps gone onto the medium. JH and McEwen are both on mediums, so they're hoping to try and get them to the end. I know that they were both on hards anyway, but you never know that the mediums could get there. Czech could have done that, but he's opted to go for the safer strategy, as has Lewis, and they've both gone on to the hards. Of course, Clock started on a medium, so he had to pit for either soft or hards. And of course, the logical thing to do would be to pick the hards, which is what he has done. So Ranga now has taken the lead of the race from Dillon. As I say, Duncan in third, but almost certainly has to pit again. Connor finds himself in P4. Preds is 5th, but he also needs to pit as he's on the tyres he started on. Czech's P9 on fresher tyres, although I think the hards, well, especially with this second safety car now, should be alright to go to the end. We've got 5 drivers, yes, 5 already out of this race. And well, I think we've probably had millions of pounds worth of damage already to these cars. Carbon fiber's been really all over the shop from lights out.
and you were saying it'd be a boring
Um,
race, mate. Never a
I
boring
didn't
race in
say that.
Australia in SLR. The season
I didn't actually
It's never a
see
boring race.
McEwen get caught up. I saw
Yeah,
Tooman coming in
he
across the
did.
track and Rigsy hit him. I didn't see how McEwen got involved in it. Did you catch that, James?
Yeah, Tooman spun on the grass, of course, as we saw, and went to the right. McEwen went to the left to avoid him and spun himself. And then Riggs, of course, went to the right and hit Tooman, so there wasn't really any way of avoiding it from the looks of things. It's wrong time, McEwen. But no, I think it's crazy. We're only about a third of the way through the race. There's still 20 laps to go, and it feels like this race is going on for absolutely ages. But yeah, I'm definitely not complaining about that. It's been a great spectacle so far. Obviously unpredictable with all the incidents and all of that. I think it's only Predators now who hasn't pitted in this race. So he'll be a bit of a thorn in the side of the likes of Sem and Bennett and Bunny. Checking P9, as you say, could have gone mediums. I think I might have risked it on the mediums just because of that pace advantage. I always like to sort of think that the mediums do double what the softs can do, which would be about 20 laps fresh in this case. So I would have liked to have seen him chance it and just try and carve his way through the field, but I believe safety car in this lap, so we'll get ready again and brace for impact, I think.
Ranger's leaving a big gap to the safety car, then he's not taking any chances. He wants to keep this lead off of the start. His penalty, 5 seconds for speeding to pit, and that definitely won't be removed. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the penalties. Did Ranger also receive a 5 second collision with
when Dylan hit the back
as well?
When Dylan hit the back of him, Ranger definitely got a penalty for that.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if either of them or both of them or one of them gets that.
I'm getting Magello vibes here on this restart.
Yeah, he's left it very late, and Bunny's got a penalty as well for a collision with Bennett. So Bunny tried to jump the gun and it rather backfired on him.
Ooh, Dylan Duncan at the inside of Dylan.
He's got it done, and Dylan has to kind of get a bit loose on the exit to avoid that. Duncan's not messing around at all. He's really going for it already, which he kind of has to do on those mediums. As like you say, it's going to be extremely unlikely that he'll get to the end on those, given the tyre. Well, we've got yellow flags again.
More
at the back.
towards the
Lewis
back.
has lost some time.
Yeah, Ranger was very slow off that restart, but obviously well within his rights to do that because he is the lead car, so he sets the pace. But yeah, a bit lucky not to have points in the way at the back. JH is looking around the outside of Rando now, Harry. Predators and Bunny are also scrapping it out. Predators almost T-bones the Mercedes.
Rando's half spun and he's lost 4 positions because of that. Lewis started the restart about P11. He'd also lost a lot of positions, and it's getting a little bit hairy, a little bit messy here as Lewis now goes down the inside of Riggs into the chicane. Very nice move from him. Ambitious but clean, and so Lewis kind of making up for a bit of lost time perhaps, as it is getting a little bit messy, and I'm kind of bracing myself as it's all getting a little bit hairy at the back here. Locking up and nearly hitting the back of Preds. Of course, teammates the last season in the AlphaTauri, but no love lost between the pair of them by the looks of things, as they're going tooth and nail for the position. The P10, Duncan pushing Ranger's Dylan has dropped out of Ranger and Duncan's DRS range as well, so that's crucial for Ranger.
I think
for later on in this race.
I think for Ranger here, he'd be better off just letting Duncan through. Duncan's on the better tyres with those mediums. Let him through, see if you can stick in his DRS. If you can't, you've still got that gap to Dylan, and Ranger will just be needing to gap that 5 seconds to Connor now. I should think it probably is. That will be that's the kind of current battle for the race win, if you want to look at it that way. Although, yeah, still very early days in this race. But with Dylan, I should think getting a penalty for a collision behind the safety car. Ranger's spreading the pits. Duncan's got to pit again. It could be SLR Connor winning this race at this rate, but yeah, I've been saying different people winning this race all throughout the opening 11 laps, and all of those predictions have sort of gone down the drain so far. Sem picks up a 3-second time penalty. He's in P6 at the moment. Bennett and Sem, 5th and 6th on debut. This is a strong showing from both of them so far. We've got Clock getting past Predators, teammates in the AlphaTauri last season. Looks like there's no love lost between those two as they're scrapping it out. I think Predators might have a bit of damage. Oh no, he's just going a bit wide. McEwen looking at the inside.
McEwen has a little look. He has a little look down the side.
DRS
JH has made a fantastic restart as well. He was 13th off the restart. He's up to 9th. He's trying to make the most of those medium compound tyres. McEwen then, he's looking down the inside of Preds into turn 1, but he can't get it done. Thinks better of it, has to back out, but he's got a good run out of turn 2. Is he going to go for it down the inside into turn 3? Yes, he is. Here we go then, side by side. Ooh, brakes late and hits Preds. Preds left a lot of room there as well, and now they're going side by side, and Lewis has tapped the back of the Ferrari as well.
We've got JH and Bunny scrapping out P8 as well. JH got pushed onto the grass a little bit for turn 4, and now he's looking up the inside. He's going to make that move.
Good move, good move. Got the elbows out, but he got it done. And we've got Rigsy now as well past Predators as well, and Rando as well past Predators. So there you go. Top 2 kind of, well, top 3 kind of, the gap's not really changed massively. Dylan's just about in the DRS.
One thing I think is worth noting though, Harry, here is that you would have thought it would be Ranga using all of his DRS to try and keep Duncan behind, but it looks like it's kind of the other way around. Duncan using his, ERS, not DRS of course. He's using his ERS, Duncan, to try and keep up with Ranga, which you wouldn't have thought would be happening with the tyre status, of course. Dylan, crucially, is in Duncan's DRS, so he's not letting Ranga go without a fight by the looks of things. Connor doesn't have much of his battery left either, but he's within the drag reduction system of the Mercedes in front, and they seem to be a bit of a DRS train. JH is going to be looking to join that, and he might be carrying Bunny along with him. Duncan picking up a penalty now, so all of the top 3 with time penalties in game anyway, if not from the stewards later on.
Checks pushing Sem by the looks of things. Oh, and he gets loose there on the curb on the exit of turn 9, losing the back end, and he did well to hold it. It was a good save there from Czech, because that could have gone round, or it could have swung into the wall. As I was going to say, well, he was putting Sem under pressure. He was within about a quarter of a second.
McEwen's gone again. He's almost collected Rigsy. Sorry to cut you off there, Harry.
Then. Yeah, that is absolutely fine. McEwen round at the Brindy Basher. You might have to rename this to the Div 1 Destroyer or something, because it's taken out 90% of the field, I think, at some point today. But there we go.
Got away with yellow flags
again. We've got yellow flags again. That's Czech. Czech, I think, has lost it out the final corner.
And now in the pit.
Czech, who was looking good for points. He's lost half of his front wing. He's going to have to do a whole lap near enough with half the front wing. Down in 13th. That is not good for him. They're dropping like flies here.
One good thing for this race, although not for Rando, is or Czech actually, is that there's not been a safety car, so we're going to get a bit more uninterrupted race action here. It would have been a bit of a shame to have another safety car, because it wouldn't really feel as though this race has got going in terms of sort of clean racing laps, although it's been non-stop action regardless of that throughout. Interesting now, though, in the top 6, SLR, Connor and P4 the only driver without a penalty, which is quite impressive given the racing we've had so far. Only 15 left. I should think maybe a couple more dropping out soon, because they're not going to have too much to play for. I should think Rando, will stick it out to the end on his debut. He'll be looking to try and finish regardless of what position it's in. Czech will have to pit for a new wing, of course. Predators still hasn't pitted, as far as I'm aware. McEwen, yeah, as I sort of briefly mentioned before.
I don't think he got damaged.
No, he definitely hit the wall from what I saw, but yeah, it looks like he's avoided any damage, which is pretty impressive. But nothing much really happening out front, just sticking within each other's DRS. Dylan almost has 100% battery left, so he's clearly just saving it up, looking to mount a charge once Duncan has pitted, presumably for soft tyres towards the end of this race.
Yeah, Connor's doing pretty well. He's quite low on his battery compared to those around him, but having said that, he is sticking with that top 3. Bennett as well, he's down to sort of the lower end of his ERS deployment. Sem's with him, but Sem's got at least 2 penalties at the moment. Ranger, how's Ranger doing in terms of his battery? Ranger's 76%, so Ranger's really managing it well. I think Ranger's perhaps got the same idea as Dylan, is to try and bolt it once Duncan pits. So Ranger's going to try and pull out Dylan's DRS once Duncan pits, and Dylan's going to try and keep within Ranger's. That'll be an interesting one to see how that gets on. JH was the only other driver in the top 8 without a time penalty, but he's just picked one up there himself. And JH is going to be a little bit touch and go whether he can get to the end on those mediums himself. Over to Original for any updates.
Yeah, a bit of action there at the back earlier from the check. I know picked up a bit of damage, but dropped him down to pit for fresh mediums. I hope that's a little bit of safety car may help him, but it's a tough ask to bring that 17-second gap down to even 14 or so. To fight for Ranger for the win, it's got to hope for a miracle. But Ranger doing very well, dominated last season, he's dominating again. Duncan's keeping up there, getting the top 4 were, and in the last season, very close, all within 2 seconds of each other, so I'll let you carry on there with the action.
I've just noticed as you were talking there, Original, that Connor's lost a lot of time to Dylan. He's now
I didn't see where it was though, weirdly enough.
No.
Well, he had the DRS
maybe
for both the straights, so he must have picked up. He must have either lost out of
turn 1, I reckon,
or I don't know. Well, he was a bit loose out of turn 1, but he was already a long way back then anyway. But yeah, so Connor, who I was just singing his praises only a matter of minutes ago, saying how well he was doing to stick with the top 3, was all of a sudden a click of the fingers dropped away from that. Bennett as well, then just picking up another penalty there. So what was looking so good perhaps for Connor is starting to become a little bit of a mammoth task again, as he's half a second off DRS as it stands, and he's going to be further than that.
Duncan in the
when
pit
it gets
in P2
to the next lap. Duncan does pit then, so early stop for him if he wants to go softs to the end. And I think Ranger perhaps might look to bolt here, although having said that, he's not really using his battery. Neither is Dylan, so interesting. Neither of them are using the batteries to try and pull away here. So yeah, Duncan's going to come out, I think, just behind McEwen, but he's got quite a bit of a gap to those ahead. He really needs a safety car to get really anything from this race, you'd say. Rigsy and Klopp are the only 2 drivers in the top 10, apart from Connor, to have no penalties as it stands. But Connor's going to have a bit of a threat from behind now. What was looking like an outside chance at a win only a few minutes ago is now turning into a bit of a defence from the high-flying Bennett, and of course JH now, he's coming through. He's got past Sem as well as JH. He's charging on those medium compound tyres.
Yeah, if Connor wants to win this race, he needs to stick within about 1.3 seconds of Ranger, or only lose 1.3 seconds to Ranger at most in the next 12 laps, because I should think one of Ranger's penalties will be getting removed. Although we didn't see the collision behind the safety car, but considering he was in front, you'd like to think it wasn't his fault. Unfortunately for Dylan, that could mean a 20-second penalty for him, although of course that's the steward's job, don't want to speculate. But as it stands, it's Ranger from Dylan on track, they've been the quickest 2-all race. And yeah, once we've got some sort of clean and uninterrupted racing action, they've really shown their pace and their skill around this circuit.
Yeah, I'm just following Lewis round as he's quite close to the back of Bunny here. Lewis having a bit of a quiet race, but he's mostly avoided the trouble, you'd say. Currently P9. He's obviously got some decent pace as he had dropped down off the safety car restart, and he's got his way back up to 9. Obviously courtesy of a few people spinning and pitting, but also he made a couple of good overtakes. And he's looking in a decent position here, is Lewis. Of course, we don't really know what penalties are, what the penalty situation is, but he's doing alright. He's doing alright, is Lewis. Sem right on the back of JH now. I think JH's tyres might start to go off as Clock goes very deep there, loses the car on the curb, putting the traction down, and that's now putting him under pressure from Bunny and Lewis. I was just going to say JH dropped off a little bit from Bennett. His tyres might be starting to go. Mediums optimally, you don't really want to be doing any more than kind of 15, 16 on them, and JH is going to have to do 21. As we've got this battle for P3, it's really hotting up. We've got 3rd to 6th now, all battling it out as Duncan gets another time penalty. But he is looking like he might be going for a move on McEwen down into turn 1. He has a look. It was probably on. It's difficult to say. It's probably not the best overtaking spot. And whoa, coming back onto the track, nearly catching Rando there. Side by side between Duncan and McEwen. I wouldn't call it either way, to be honest.
No, I've just watched it back, Harry.
It was a sort of speculative move, should we say. And yeah, it was just one of those. I don't think contact system, perhaps not being his best friend there.
I don't think Duncan was ever close enough alongside to make the move. If I'm being critical there,
not
I think
realistic.
He wants to make up for his. I wouldn't say poor strategy call, just unfortunate strategy call really, with all of the safety cars going 2 sets of mediums. It was just the sort of the wrong call on the day, unfortunately for him. Connor dropping further back, unfortunately for him, from the top 2. He is though keeping Bennett at bay quite nicely. They're very similar, if not they are exactly the same in their batteries, so neither of them really with any sort of advantage in that sense. But you've got to say, 10 laps to go, if you include 20. It's looking good once again for running around Australia.
Yeah, Dylan has managed to get back into his DRS though, so I haven't. We've got an incident now. Oh, we've got another big incident, and Riggsy became Moses there for a second as Lewis and Klopp sort of parted ways for Riggsy to go through. I didn't quite see what happened. I saw there was a bit of an incident going on. Clock and Lewis have had, well, they've both lost out from it, and Bunny's now back up to P7. So again, another incident in this race. I'm surprised in some way that we've only had 5 DNFs. Yeah, Dylan has gotten back into Ranger's DRS, is what I was saying. But he's still got 84%, 86, he's got 90% of his battery, and Ranger's actually been using his. So Dylan's obviously got some really strong pace by the looks of things. Obviously stewarding and all that jazz yet to come, but in terms of on track, Dylan I think is probably going to be my bet now. He's looking strong. Sem's in the
going to softs to the end. That's a no. He's not. Seven penalty maybe. No.
And Preds is in the pits as well. Maybe they weren't confident the hards were going to make it.
Yeah, could be a good call if they don't. But I'd be a little surprised with the amount of safety cars we've had. Sem will want to come out ahead of Duncan, but he's just behind at P12 for him. I think unfortunately he won't be breaking that consecutive wins record today. Although stranger things have happened. But yeah,
I'll tell you what,
as originally
Connor
said,
and Riggsy will be praying for a safety car here.
Yeah. I think as originally said earlier, for Czech to get back into this race, it's the same for Sem as well to win it. Really, they need a miracle. But that percentage, that chance is just getting smaller and smaller as the laps go on. They're very close for the lead, Harry. I've just seen within half a second Dylan got there for a brief moment, but I'm surprised with the amount of battery he's got, not looking to make a move from the looks of it. He's just happy biding his time behind the AlphaTauri.
Pitting, and so is JH. So
wow.
Obviously these guys aren't confident that the hards are going to make it to the end, as we now got Bennett and JH both in the pit. I'll tell you what, Riggsy's actually in a fantastic position, Jake. If all of these guys need to pit again, Riggsy's going to take the lead of the race.
Oh wow,
just a quick update, lads. Owen's just, as you were about to say, Sem had projected 80% tyre wear, so you would have to pit no matter what if you want to make the finish.
Wow.
He's put.
Whoa. Okay.
Maybe they're taking a gamble up front then, Harry.
That is not good news. Yeah, well, Bunny's on 20 lap old hards already, so his are older than anyone else's. This could be really interesting then. I think Riggsy then, you'd have to say, is in a really strong position. It's a difficult one.
Freeman's just
It's
said,
how
could he
big a
win
risk.
this?
It's how big a risk you want to take. 80%. If they were going to be 80% at the end, I'd personally stay out. I'd risk it. I mean, you know, you wouldn't expect everyone to pit, and I don't think that is going to be the case. I don't know. I mean, it depends, I guess, how much you're willing to risk. Dylan and Ranga then are in a position where they probably can't afford to battle, because that extra tyre wear could really be costly.
Well,
Either of
Sem's
them were to
only
get a puncture.
Sem's only 24 seconds off the lead now, so if either of them decide to pit, they'll come up behind the McLaren driver with them having to
Dylan's
serve
passed him.
5-second
Dylan's passed
penalties.
Ranga. Dylan's passed Ranga, so Dylan takes the lead now of the race. And I think, to be honest, well, he has used a lot of his battery now, though. He's used about 40% since we last looked, but Dylan's obviously got some really strong pace. It's going to be a bit of a task, I think, for Ranga to sit with him. Although, having said that, doesn't seem to be any immediate sign that Dylan's really running away. Sem sets the fastest lap as well, so Sem is absolutely flying on those soft compound tyres. Maybe it is going to be the right strategy call. I mean, a safety car right now would be brilliant for Sem.
Yeah, Freeman just put in the chat as well. He said, "Good rigs win this." Personally, for me, the highest I can see him with penalties and all of that jazz, probably P3. Connor could still be a good shout to win this, as Dylan's picked up another time penalty for corner cutting this time. Yeah, Sem, now he's gained 2 seconds in the last lap net to top 2, so a safety car wouldn't help him get into the lead, but he based to get the top 2, he needs them to have punctures by the end. The top 4 really to have punctures by the end. I think they've all.
Well, we've got JH, Duncan and Rando all battling it out. JH having a look down the inside of Rando into the chicane. Oh, it's getting a little bit hairy.
They're all really low on their energy.
Escaped. JH is not happy about something as he's wiggling his wheel. Duncan, whoa, going really well there, cutting the grass, taking a brake mark aboard, and JH has hit the back of Rando, and Rando spun as a result of it. JH was obviously annoyed about something, perhaps venting his frustrations a bit too much there, tapping the back of the McLaren. Rando spun, and that's really Rando's chance at points, I think, gone this afternoon. And now JH is having a look at Duncan as well. I think he's going to try and get him out of turns 1 and 2, but Duncan takes a nice line through there, and it's going to be difficult, I think, for JH to go for the move, and I think that is going to be the case. It does look like it. Yeah, there we go. Duncan then defending well, but JH also not managing to find a way past. Dylan nearly out of Ranga's DRS out front, and JH is going to have a look down into turn 7. He thought about it. That would have been a ballsy move there. Unorthodox overtaking spot as well. He's really pushing his JH here. He's getting a way better traction than Duncan. Duncan's on 7-lap old mediums, JH on 2-lap old softs. So he's obviously got those to his advantage here. Is he going to try and get him down the back straight? He's got the DRS, but he's got basically no battery. Although, having said that, neither has Duncan. Of course, the red light flashing indicating that he's under 20% ERS available to him. JH really pushing the Renault driver here. He's diving down the inside into the penultimate corner. Massive move there down the inside from JH, and they're all going at it. Sem's past McEwen now, so Sem's up to 7th. Duncan and Bennett now. Bennett's coming through. Bennett then past the Renault of Duncan up into P10, and now is Bennett going to have a go at JH down into turn 3. JH has the DRS as well though, but I think Bennett's going to try it. He goes round the outside, he's trying it. Oh, bit of contact maybe between the pair of them. Bennett's having a little look again down the inside of turn 4, but he thinks better of it. He has to back out of the move. Good battling between the pair of them. Bennett getting on the curb now, getting all loose, and now Duncan's having another look back at him, but he just can't go for the move. Like I say, not really an overtaking spot turn 7, although I wouldn't put it past any of these guys to give it a try. Well, so that was all a bit frantic there for a few corners or so, and I don't think it's going to end just yet, as Bennett does seem to have some really solid pace. We've got yellow flags, we've got Sem's round at the Div 1 Destroyer, it's being named now. That's another one gone, and we've got to change the name, surely. Sem's gone then, no safety car by the looks of things.
No, it's too late for a safety car.
Sem's hopes at points, they're going, they're flashing before his eyes. I think that is, well, it's a costly mistake from Sem by the looks of things. Are we going to see Bennett, the highest placed finisher, on debut here? It does look like that might be the case, as he's on a bit of a charge, is Bennett. He's having a go, he's putting JH under pressure. Is he going to get the run out of turn 2, down to turn 3? Both drivers know ERS to their disposal. Sem gets a
think it's just
warnings. Not close enough.
just a
Oh,
case
tap
of,
from behind. Bennett's been hit by Duncan as well. Another tap from behind.
I was going to say, it's just a bit of a case of what could have been really for these newly promoted drivers. All of them showing signs, showing promise of what they could achieve. But yeah, unfortunately, just not quite getting the rub of the green, being caught up in some incidents. And I think overall for them all, really, it's going to be a bit of a disappointing day.
Yeah, Dylan's got a massive lead now out in front, nearly 2.5 seconds. I say massive, I mean it's not massive, but it's about as big as it's been the whole race.
I'll tell you what, Harry,
reeling in Silly Bunny slightly.
Yeah, one that to definitely look out for is Rigsy. Another is Connor. By my calculation, he's within about half a second with 3 laps to go of the race win. If he gets within 5 seconds of Ranga, I think he'll win it, with Ranga getting only one of his penalty to move, as you said, because speed in the pits won't get removed. Dylan, I should think, will be getting penalties as well for collisions, but yeah, it could be a bit of an interesting podium interview here today, because we could be interviewing drivers that are on the podium that might finish lower down, or drivers that are on the podium that might not be finishing in the positions that they do. We could have a guy in second who might have won the race, or a guy in third that might have won the race, or anything like that. Really, it could be a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, Connor's in a pretty nice position actually. He's out on his own, so he's not under pressure from anyone. He can kind of run his own race here, and of course he's still got a chance at the win, weirdly enough, despite being 8 seconds off it. Dylan, yeah, is really kind of pulling away now from Ranga, so Ranga's not really got a response to that. Rigsy is looking pretty good. He gained time on Bunny, then lost it all in the final couple of corners, made a bit of a mistake, but he's kind of pulled it back again. I mean, he really needs these guys now, though, the 4 ahead of him, their tyres kind of fall off the cliff in the next lap or 2. Perhaps unlikely. I don't recall ever sort of seeing that sort of thing happen, at least on the game. We've still got Bennett then right behind JH, as he has been for the last 2 or 3 laps now. Is he going to try and go for the move? JH, excuse me, getting a little bit loose out of the final corner, but I don't think Bennett's going to be close enough on this occasion to go for the move. He needs to try and optimise that exit out of turns 1 and 2 onto the second straight. JH again getting another good exit. Bennett's really going to have to send it if he's going for the move. He has a look around the outside. JH covers it off. Is Bennett going to try the switch back here? No, we've got a yellow flag now as well. I wonder if Preds or someone got a little bit out of shape out of the second corner. Bennett is going to have a look. Is he down into turn 7? He has a little nudge from JH, or a little bit of a contact with JH, I think. But now round the outside, JH. Oh, that was nearly a massive crash. And well, JH, he's done the honourable thing, should we say. He's let Bennett through. JH kind of came across Bennett a little bit, and they nearly got glued together, and that would have been a big crash had that happened. But well, that's fair play to JH. He's kind of recognised that he perhaps was slightly over the line there. He's let Bennett through, but it was good. It was a good battle between the pair of them. I'm glad it didn't end how it nearly looked like it was going to, with a big crash. They're all closing in out front, James. I tell you what. Yeah. Apart from Dylan, who's absolutely flown off. Connor could win this race. Wow, that would be mega for Connor, who had not the best season last season.
We're going to be interviewing Dylan as the race winner, with Connor in second and Rigsy in third.
Oh wow!
Although I wouldn't put any money on that being your final podium.
Well,
come report day
chance,
on
Wednesday. One, we need a driver of the day. So get your driver's pay
forgot
boots
to ask
going
for
down
that, but
below.
people can vote in.
And also, well, it might be worth waiting, I guess, till till we've actually seen the sort of final results. The other thing it's a good time to do is probably plug the socials. Of course, the race results posted on Twitter, and of course the website, which between you and me, it's had a bit of a makeover this off-season. So be sure to look out for that one.
Dylan's going to win, Harry.
Days.
On track. The Mercedes driver.
Yes, there we go. Sorry, I forgot it was the last lap. There we go. Dylan wins on track from Ranga, but I think Connor is going to cross the line and actually take 9/10 it is. So Connor comes second from
Riggs.
Dylan. Riggs third. Ranga fourth. Funny fifth. Clock crosses the line. Sixth. Then it is McEwen. He's seventh. What an event for McEwen. I don't quite know how he's managed. Seventh. Bennett eighth. JH in ninth. Just about. Duncan's 10th. Preds now 10th because Preds didn't have a penalty as usual. Check 11th. Rando 12th. Now Duncan must have had about 20 seconds of penalties. Lewis 14th and Sem crosses the line. Kind of. No, Sem's. Yeah, there we go. Sem comes home in 250. So then, lads,
what a crazy
thoughts on that one. We'll go to original at first, as Riggsy gets the driver of the day from the game.
What a fish. Riggsy from P12 on the grid at the start had a little bit of incident and ends up on the podium. I didn't expect that. He had fresher tyres because the guys at the front. Connor sneaking his way in seconds. Ranga, shouldn't really have that fast technically, but speed in the pit lane. But he did. But congrats to my fellow teammate, of the Williams trial. Brilliant from him. To Connor. Well done to Dylan. Him and but other than that, unlucky for McLaren really, but nothing else to that.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a race of perhaps what could have been for some, and then a race of, well, brilliant drives from others. I think we've got the top three now in the party, so I will hand it over to James for the podium interviews. But just before that, I'd like to congratulate, of course, the top three on their results here tonight.
Alright then, as Riggs has just left the party, can we try and get him back in, please? Because he'll be the first one we start on. We'll try and keep this short and sweet, because I like Andre. Is Riggs get back in? We'll give him a second. He's connecting, and he's back. Alright, Riggs, we're going to start with you in third place. Pretty eventful race, if you want to just take us through how it was from your perspective.
Not noticed that bit really, because I shouldn't be here. Like, the start was, I can't really say too much about else at the start, but when that safety car came out, just complete collapse of concentration. We had to come in and repair the wing, just slammed into the back of Duncan. So hitting your teammate, the cardinal sin was committed, but that, and then we were at the back of the field anyway, so everybody was going to the hards, and I was like, right, I'll do two mediums, because, like, didn't really ken how the race was going to pan out. Australia's just a really, like, it's a very obscure track in a way. Like, you always feel there's always going to be something happening, and then, but on the mediums, we've got to do medium, then when the second safety car came out, we went on the hards, and we had one of the Haasies like running wide at the chicane, and I seen everybody kind of bunching up on the outside, so that was hell, to put it nicely. But and then I seen it coming across the track, and I had nowhere else to go, so I had to come back in again. And then it was just a matter of keeping the tyres, because everybody was kind of saying the same. Like, tyres was really kind of becoming the main issue for everybody that didn't pit under the second one. So it was just a matter of just saving it and trying to go for it near the end. But I'll need to watch it back and see what happened to everybody else. But it was quite eventful for us for the start. But after that, it was just quiet. Like, there was they doing a bit until near the end.
Yeah, well, no penalties paying off brilliantly for you. I'll congratulate you on your third place for the season
Cheers.
opener. Great way to start the season. We'll now move on to SLR Connor, who is second place on track. I believe it could be more, but I don't want to jump the gun on that one. So, yeah, your best ever finish in Div 1. How was your race, mate?
Mate, sweaty. Yeah, literally towards the end, I hate the hard tires. I'll do anything one, and then I have to do what I was pitted for them on lap 3. Yeah, that's my idea of hell, man. But just kept it as clean as possible. I think I got to kind of lap 20 without any warnings. Didn't have a single warning, which is not like me. And then just keeping it on the track, like literally got quite lucky with the crash, darted through the crash, the big one, quite well, gained loads of places, but just clinging onto the back of the front two. Maybe, I mean, could have possibly been even a win. I made a mistake and got out the DRS, which was disappointing, but yeah, absolutely take what I've got today, like.
Yeah, well done, P2. First race of the season. Don't think you really could have asked for much of a better start.
Nah, no way. What else happened? I need updated. What happened in the with the front two?
Oh, absolute mayhem. I don't think I've got enough time to explain what happened. God, it was just action, just everywhere. Like the amount of carnage and debris that was everywhere.
I can't wait to watch the stream back. It's going to be.
Yeah, might impressive for those that avoided it. Obviously, yourself included in that.
Yeah, man. But yeah, proper buzzing. Now, literally that last lap, like I was just sweating, just holding onto the wheel, man. But yeah, proper really happy.
All right, then we'll conclude our interviews with today's race winner. First race back in the second division of SLR, and it's a win on track for you, Dylan. How was your race?
Yeah, it's been alright. The start wasn't great, obviously. Just overcooked and won massively. But yeah, just kept on the back of Renga, I think. Safety car came out at, well, I'd say worst time, because I had to do 2 runs on my Q2 lap tires. So my tires were pretty fucked up, and the plan was to go for an undercut of like 2 laps maybe. But then the safety car came out, and I just responded to Renga, and then I think there was a little glitch on a few guys, because Renga's really going slow. So he got 5 seconds there. And then on the safety car, yeah, I touched the back of Renga. So, it's obviously up to the suits to decide what happened. I'm not sure. So, yeah. To Renga. Then otherwise, he probably would have been on the boat. Yeah, tried to make some crucial overtakes on Tuman and guys like that to stay at that rank and overtake him eventually with a few laps left and just try to break the gap eventually and coming across the line for P1.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if it's not the win, you've shown the pace that you've got. You've shown what you can do in this division, and you've given a strong signal of your intent for the rest of this season. But got one more little award, I guess, to hand out. That is Driver of the Day. I believe that went to Connor originally. If you've got the stream chat open still, can you confirm?
It started way early, but it was technically Connor. Rigsy came in second by a few, but it was Connor who nicked it.
All right then, back to you, Harry, to round off for the first stream of the season.
Yeah, I think I need to lie down, to be honest. What a race it was. Div 1 never fails to disappoint, does it? Really fitting way there, I think, to start the season. So it was Dylan who took the win from Connor from Riggs. They were your top 3, of course, provisionally, might I add, and that goes for every position. So, like I say, be sure to just keep an eye out for the confirmed race results throughout the week. But yeah, what a brilliant race it was. I'd like to thank, of course, all the drivers for attending and putting on a great spectacle. I'd like to thank James for joining me on co-coms and Original as well, for his contributions in the TED role. And I think that should do us. So yeah, what a great race it was. Of course, be sure to join us throughout the rest of the weekend for the other divisions and their respective rounds. And then it will be next Thursday. You'll see us in Bahrain for the start of the F2 season. And of course, we'll be back as usual on the Friday for the second round of the Division 1 season. But thank you all for tuning in. Looked like we had a lot of guys in the stream, about 50 odd on average, if I recall. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and good night.
Cheers. Got to end there.